So, what if the biggest debate in all of economics, that constant fight between growing the economy and sharing it fairly, what if that whole thing was based on a false choice? Today, we're diving into a really interesting philosophy called market equitism, and it argues that you can actually get maximum fairness by pushing for maximum efficiency. Kind of sounds impossible, right? Well, let's see how it's supposed to work.
Right. We're always told there's this fundamental trade-off. On one hand, you have the grow the pie crowd. They're all about efficiency, innovation, making more wealth for everyone. And on the other hand, you've got the share of the pie folks who are focused on fairness, welfare, and making sure everyone gets a slice. The thinking usually goes that you can't really do both at the same time. But what if you can?
According to market equitism, this whole conflict only seems real because we're not paying attention to the real enemy. The theory says there's this one single culprit that messes up both growth and fairness, a kind of hidden economic villain called deadweight loss.
So what on earth is this villain? Let's make it super simple. Imagine someone offers you a choice. You can have $100 in cash, crisp and clean. Or you can have a $100 gift card to a store that, you're not that into. It's a no-brainer, right? Of course you take the cash, because that cash gives you total freedom to get what you actually want.
And that little gap in value, the difference between the gift card's $100 price tag and what it's actually worth to you, well, that's the core idea behind deadweight loss. It's value that just vanishes into thin air when things don't end up with the people who want them the most. It is pure, simple economic waste.
Just think about it for a second. If that $100 gift card is really only worth, say, $60 to you, then $40 of value has just been completely erased. Poof, gone. That's the deadweight loss. And this philosophy argues this isn't just a quirky thing about gift cards. It's a massive, hidden problem baked into things like housing subsidies. Giving someone a specific apartment instead of the cash to choose their own creates that exact same kind of inefficiency and waste.
So if giving people the wrong things is the problem, what's the most direct and efficient solution? Well, the answer proposed by market equitism is almost shockingly simple. Stop trying to pick and choose services or subsidies. Just give people cash.
And the logic here is really straightforward. Cash completely gets rid of that deadweight loss, because people will naturally use it on whatever they value the most. It respects them as individuals who know what they need. It lets the market do what it does best, get goods and services to the people who actually want them. Plus, a specific apartment only helps one family, but the cash equivalent could be split up to help lots of people in smaller, more targeted ways.
Okay. A universal cash payment, it sounds great in theory, but it immediately brings up the gigantic question, how in the world do you pay for it? And market equitism has a very specific answer for this too. It lays out a hierarchy of taxes, all built around that one core idea, stamping out deadweight loss.
So the hierarchy starts with the absolute best, most efficient taxes. First up, you tax bads. Think of something like a carbon tax on pollution. Since pollution creates costs for all of society, taxing it actually reduces waste and makes the economy run better. Step 2, you tax luck. This means capturing unearned windfalls, like when a piece of land suddenly becomes super valuable because the city builds a park next to it. The owner didn't do anything to earn that money, so taxing it creates basically zero deadweight loss. It's only after you've used up those two sources that you move to the last resort, taxing work with things like an income tax.
And this is where the whole idea gets really interesting. How do you design that last resort tax on people's work to be as efficient as you possibly can? Well, the answer sounds like a complete contradiction. A progressive flat tax.
So let's look at what this actually means for people. If you have a pretty low income, maybe $12,000 a year, your effective tax rate is negative 43%. You're getting a big payment from the government. But if you're making, say, $1 million a year, your rate is a positive 39%. I mean, it looks exactly like the progressive systems we're used to. The more you make, the higher the percentage of your income you pay in tax.
So I gotta ask, does this look like a progressive tax system? Based on just the numbers, the answer seems like an obvious, yeah, of course it is. The higher earners are clearly paying a much bigger share. But here comes the twist.
That whole table, all those progressive-looking results, were created by just two incredibly simple rules. First, a single, flat 40% tax on all income. And second, a universal cash payment of $10,000 given to every single person, no questions asked. So you get the administrative simplicity and efficiency of a flat tax, but the universal payment makes the outcome deeply progressive. It's using simple, efficient tools to get a really complex social goal.
And really, that's market equitism in a nutshell. It's a whole economic philosophy that is just obsessed with one thing: hunting down and destroying dead weight loss wherever it's hiding. On the welfare side, that means cash, not complicated services. And on the tax side, it means that clear hierarchy that ends with a simple flat tax. The whole point is to use the powerful tools of market efficiency to achieve the goals of social equity.
So at its core, this whole system is built on this one pillar of pure economic efficiency, which of course leaves us with a pretty fascinating final question to think about. In the messy, complicated reality of our world, what kind of social and political roadblocks would a system like this actually run into? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.